Good morning, everyone. My name is Eric Anderson. I'm the communications leader at Sherbrooke Community Center and Central Haven here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada. I first like to thank the Eden folks for thinking of me to be part of one of these Eden moments. It is slightly intimidating because there are so many. There have been so many amazing people who have done one of these Eden moments, and people with much more experience and knowledge and probably way more articulate than I am. So it's very humbling to be here. So thank you very much. I just want to talk for a few minutes about, I think, the importance of storytelling, especially during these, how should I say, challenging times that we are currently in right now. I think there is incredible power and incredible empathy that comes with storytelling, and I think it's a really effective way for long-term care homes, Eden care homes, not only across Canada and North America, but the world, to get our message across about the amazing work that all of us are doing, the hard work, the dedicated work, and especially during a global pandemic. I think there is a spotlight on long-term care. I know for sure in North America, and I'm assuming across the world as well. There's a spotlight on us and the work that we're doing, the really important work that we're doing. So I think it presents an opportunity for care homes across the world, Eden care homes, to share their stories with the public, to let people know about the amazing work that we're doing, the philosophy that we're so proud to be practicing each and every day. And so I just want to share, ironically, a few stories with you about some of the stories that we've shared during this pandemic from Sherbrooke. And we've been able to share stories in kind of different ways. So I just want to quickly run through a couple of stories, and hopefully they inspire you to share your stories out there as well. Before I started at Sherbrooke 4 years ago in Central Haven, I worked as a journalist for CBC, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. And one of my mentors always said that to have a good story, somebody needs to be doing something for a reason. And that always stuck with me. And so when this pandemic started, I was obviously working at Sherbrooke, and we went on. We closed things up really, really quick, and so many things were happening. And I have a podcast on the side. It's called YXC Underground, and in this podcast, I share stories of people in our community that are doing great things but are flying under the radar. And when the pandemic hit, I wasn't really sure what to do for my next episode. And then one day I sort of looked around Sherbrooke and realized that there are so many people that are stepping up and doing things for amazing reasons that are obviously flying under the radar. And so I decided to tell the story of how Sherbrooke has adapted and how life has changed at Sherbrooke, and how our staff and elders are adapting to that new life because of the pandemic. So I was really fortunate to interview managers, people like Deb Schick, really hardworking staff from all corners of Sherbrooke, whether they were continuing care assistants or whether they were occupational therapists, our kitchen staff, our laundry staff, and then of course elders as well. And the podcast proved to be such a big success that it got this close to being on the top 100 charts for Apple Podcasts in the world. And believe me, that is rarefied air for this little podcast. So I think it showed, it was a great example of people being interested in terms of what was happening in long-term care and how things were changing when the pandemic first arrived here in Saskatoon. That was in the middle of March, and we recorded the podcast around the end of March, early April. So that was one example there. We also had an example of one of our recreation staff. His name is Wes Froze, and Wes is one of our amazing musicians who brings a lot of joy and meaning to our community through the concerts that he does. And normally Wes does a big Friday afternoon concert in one of our main gathering centers at Sherbrooke. Because of the pandemic, obviously that had to change. And so Wes took it upon himself to move those concerts online. And now every Friday at 3:00 on our Facebook page, he does a live 1-hour concert that's streamed not only throughout our building, but it's out there on Facebook. And so our elders and staff love it, but especially family members too really love it. So that was a story that I pitched to our local CBC here, and they did a really nice story where they interviewed Wes and they interviewed two of our elders, Doris and Alice, and just talked about the impact of doing these concerts online. But again, it was an example of a person doing something for a reason, and in this case, it was Wes moving these concerts online because he knows the joy that his concerts bring to our elders and to our staff, and especially to our families. So another example there. And one more just quick example was there was an elder that moved in right around I believe the start of the pandemic. And this elder really had a passion for art, and especially watercolors when it comes to painting. And so when she first arrived, she was a bit concerned in terms of was she going to be able to pursue her passions, because we unfortunately had to close down the art studio at Sherbrooke. Well, luckily we had a summer student who was able to come down to this elder's room and work one-on-one with her on her watercolors in terms of her paintings. The paintings were stunning. And we just told a quick little story on our Facebook page. We included about 4 or 5 photos with a couple of paragraphs about this elder and why this was important to her, and how the relationship between her and the summer student was really prospering. And that Facebook page post was one of our most popular posts in the last, I would say, 6 months. It was great to see not only staff react, but especially the family of this elder. They were able to see, whether it was their mom, their grandma, their aunt, to see her paintings and the joy that it was bringing her to be able to paint again was really special. So again, somebody doing something for a reason. This elder wanted to pursue her passion for art, and our staff, and especially our summer student, was able to make that happen, and we just posted it on our Facebook page. So just 3 quick examples of the power of storytelling. I really believe that we have this incredible opportunity as care homes across the world to share our stories, because the world is paying attention. And so whether it is through your website, whether it's through your social media channels, or whether it's through contacting your local newspaper, your local TV station, there is incredible power when it comes to storytelling and to letting your community know all of the amazing things that are happening in your care homes, and how hard your elders and your staff are working during these challenging times to bring joy and meaning to life in your care home. So thank you so much for this opportunity to share a little bit of my passion with you. Like I said, it's very humbling to be a part of this awesome series. Congratulations to the Eden Alternative for coming up with this great idea. And it's very humbling to be, along the likes of someone like Cheryl George, who is so smart and passionate, and one of my Eden role models here in Saskatoon. To have this opportunity is very humbling. So thank you to the Eden Alternative folks, and thank you for watching and for listening. And I can't wait to see your stories in whatever shape and form they come out with. So thank you so much, and have a great day.